It's amazing how times change and have changed. Even in my lifetime, there's been great changes to our flora and fauna, really, all aspects of it. New species coming in, losing species, species appearing much earlier in the year, gaining second broods, partial third broods, and quite often being seen later into the autumn. When I was heavily into collecting ants and studying ants back in the late 70s and early 80s, Lasius niger here, the common or garden black ant, wouldn't really be seen out foraging much before the end of March. It had to be very mild then, but in those days we got winters, we got cooler temperatures overall than we do now. This year I had workers out foraging on, I think it was the 14th of February. Over my lifetime, these ants, like all others, have appeared earlier and earlier, and this colony here is very active, but it's active in a strange way. There are four main areas or entrance holes to this nest that the ants are coming out of. But even though I've had my arm on the ground and hands on the ground, these haven't had any need to become aggressive. Normally, if you block the trails between these holes, they would show some aggressive tendencies, but this lot haven't. What quiet is going on here, I'm not entirely sure. Whether it's just opening up other parts of the nest. There's no brood being moved around. Sometimes ants will move the brood out of the nest across open ground, so to speak. There's lots of communication between these ants on meeting. Everyone's going through a meet and greet phase. Every time an ant meets another one, they check to see whether they are friend or foe. These are all friends, from what I can see. No aggression at all. They seem very preoccupied. And this is something that, personally, I've not noted from Lasius niger. You would think that this was maybe mid-July, mid-August, and on some thundery afternoon prompting the nuptial flight. But it isn't. It's the 10th of April today, and these ants are very preoccupied doing whatever they're doing. It's surprising just what you can see if you actually sit down and observe something as mundane as black ants, Lasius niger, just going about the daily business, or seeming to anyway. But then the closer you look, the more you realise that it's something different. Nature's always full of surprises. It's all right. I'm just in the process of editing this video. I've come to the last couple of clips, and these two clips have told me what I'd missed all along throughout the filming of this video. I'd misinterpreted what was actually going on. I wasn't filming 4 different entrance holes to a Lasius niger nest. It was entrance holes to a nest, or to 4 nests that I actually filmed, but they weren't the entrance holes to a Lasius niger nest. They were the entrance holes to an andrena species of solitary bee. And here, just left and above centre, you can see andrena just behind the grass there. She's trying to return to a burrow laden with pollen, but she's not being allowed into her burrow. There's a blockage. That blockage is basically running all around this particular shot, and if we go close in with some rather shaky footage, you can see that andrena, and she's trying desperately to get past the obstruction, but in the end she's forced out, and that's what she's forced out by. And within seconds of her leaving, as you saw there, this was the scene. And what these ants were doing all along were raiding similar burrows of this andrena species. I've not seen it before, but there again, you don't always go around looking so closely. So all along, I was thinking there was something totally different. I know the activity seemed strange, but all of the burrows that I featured were those of an andrena species of solitary bee. Seems rather a shame, I suppose, that particular andrena is not going to be successful. She's going to have to find somewhere else, somewhere safer, and hopefully get a new burrow dug and cells incorporated into that burrow, furnished and eggs laid, and then the burrow blocked off. It's interesting sometimes when you see these instances of life amongst an ant colony, you can interpret it the wrong way, as I did. I never put 2 and 2 together. Well, I did, but I came up with 3. But there again, maths was never one of my strong points, largely because I wasn't interested in it.